Hello, welcome to the first 241 virtual leadership training. Today we're going to talk about goal setting. All right, we're going to talk about why is goal setting so important. We're going to talk about a technique on how to set goals, and then we're going to talk about different types of goals. All right, so without further ado, let's just jump right into this. All right, so why is goal setting so important? I want you to think of life as being like the open ocean, okay? The open ocean, and you're on a raft. Now, without goals, you're just kind of adrift. You're kind of gonna just float off wherever the waves and the wind take you, okay? You may land in a really awesome, beautiful place, or you may not. Now, your goal is kind of like your map. It's your navigational tool. It's your way of kind of dictating the way you're going to paddle and the way you're going to set your sails, and because you have a destination that you're aiming for, right? So that is why goal setting is so important. It helps us control our lives and dictate the way we lead our lives to help us get to an end result. All right. So when it comes to goal setting, there's three different types of goals. You have your have goals, things that you want to have, things that you want to own. You have your be goals. Those are basically what you want to become, right? Certain characteristics or traits that you're aiming after. And then you have your do goals. Those are experiences, things that you want to do with your life, things that you want to experience. All right, so let's just say I have a B goal of being a best-selling author. That's a pretty cool goal. So with being a best-selling author, maybe I have a have goal of having a #1 best-selling novel, mystery novel, whatever. And the do goal, to start it all off, I have to write a book. So my do goal is write a book. My be goal is to become a best-selling author. My have goal is to have a #1 best-selling book. And that brings a key point. So your goals need to align with each other. Let's just say that I have a goal of spending 3 hours a day with my kids, with my family. But I also may have a goal of restoring a classic car that's been sitting in my garage. Now, that classic car is going to take a lot of time and money and effort that may take me away from my other goal of spending more time with my family. So obviously one of those things is going to have to give, right? I need to prioritize those goals and decide which one is going to take precedence over the other. So there are going to be times where you're going to have to scrub certain goals off of your list, or put certain goals on the back burner, okay? And that's okay. I have a saying that, does my will match my want? And what I mean by that is, let's just say $1 million. Everybody wants to have $1 million. I want to have $1 million. Everybody does. But does my will match that want? Am I willing to do the things that are necessary to get to that goal? There's sacrifices that are going to come along with any goal that you set. And if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, you need to be honest with yourself, and you need to reevaluate those goals. You need to change those goals to match what you're realistically willing to sacrifice. That's just honesty. That's point blank and period. That you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're not going to be able to say, I have this goal of losing 50 pounds, but you're not willing to give up the McDonald's every day. It's not realistic. It's not going to happen. You can't say, I want to lose 50 pounds, not give up the McDonald's every day, and not go for a jog or put any type of exercise into my daily routine. That's not going to work. I mean, it's just not. So again, there's going to be sacrifices. You're either going to have to sacrifice your time and your energy on that exercise, or you're going to have to change your diet, or maybe both. So that's just an example. Now, what do I benefit from setting goals? Well, number one, it provides guidance, like we already talked about. It gives you that roadmap, but over a long term, right? Because day-to-day things are going to happen, but as long as you have that end goal in sight, it's going to help you dictate the way that you live your life, and those goals should be reevaluated on a daily basis on where do I stand, and use it as an accountability tool. That's another thing that it provides. It's a way to hold yourself accountable. Did my activities in my day line up with my end goal? If not, you're probably gonna change your activities for the next day. It forces you to plan, right? So again, with that roadmap, it forces you to come up with a plan on how are you going to get there. Otherwise, it's just a dream. If you don't have a plan, you're just dreaming. It motivates and inspires. So if you had that goal of losing the weight or whatever, it may force you to be more inclined to put down that cheeseburger or get out of bed and go for that jog. And again, it's another way for you to evaluate where you stand. Let's just say I have a goal of being healthier. That's just a very vague goal. What does healthier mean? Does it mean my cholesterol is below a certain point? Does it mean my weight's below a certain point? Does it mean that I'm sleeping so many hours? I don't know. If I don't have that specific goal, I'm not going to be able to evaluate that goal. I could say, maybe I feel healthier. Okay, maybe that's the goal, just to feel healthier. Well, then fair enough. But if the goal is more specific as to weight loss and things like that, those are measurable goals. You can stand on a scale, and it can tell you where you stand on that goal. So are my efforts working, or do I need to change something? When it comes to goal setting, other thing, think of there's an analogy, SMART. Okay, what SMART stands for? The S is for specific. Your goals need to be specific, like we already talked about. Your goals need to be measurable. We just talked about that as well. So if it's, I have $10,000 in my savings account, if it's be below a certain weight, if it's sleep so many hours a night, those are all measurable things, and if you're winning or losing when it comes to those things. They need to be attainable. I can't set a goal of going to Mars. That would be really cool, but that's not realistic for me. I can't go to Mars. I don't have a spaceship. I don't have a NASA certification or whatever that's required to be an astronaut. I just can't do those things, so I would never set that goal. It needs to be rewarding. You need to make sure you're stretching yourself a little bit. Don't set goals for things that you're already capable of doing easily. That's not going to provide any type of gratification, and that's going to leave a very short-term buzz. You're not going to feel very good about that. You want goals that you're going to feel really accomplished and feel really prideful about when you do reach those. And then they need to be trackable, or they need to be time managed. So you need to have time limits on your goals. That way you don't just get into the mindset of, well, I'll do it tomorrow, and then you look back 5 years and you didn't accomplish anything. Now, I'm not saying if you don't accomplish your goal within the time limit you set, to abandon it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying set a time limit and push for it as hard as you can. And if you don't meet that goal in that time, then you need to reevaluate at that point. Maybe it wasn't really an attainable goal in the time that you had set. Maybe you encountered some hiccups along the way. Maybe your plan wasn't as good as what you originally thought it was, and that's okay. Then you reevaluate, you set a new time limit, and then you go after it again. All right? So that's basically what I got for you guys today. I can't stress enough how important goal setting is in life. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to set 3 short-term goals. Let's put a 30-day mark on them. All right, so 3 goals that you want to accomplish in the next 30 days, and use that SMART technique, and be honest with yourself when that 30 days comes. Did I accomplish? Did I not? If you didn't, that's okay. We'll reevaluate and we'll set some new time limits. But if you did, Make sure you feel really good at that 30-day mark. Make sure that it's something that's worth celebrating. If not, set a bigger goal. Set something that stretches you a little bit further. And then I want you guys to set maybe some lifetime goals, maybe some 10-year goals. And the reason I want you to do that is I want that to start dictating those short-term goals and make sure they line up to getting you to that end result. All right. I can't say that. Let's use the millionaire example again. Let's just say I have a goal of in 10 years I want to be a millionaire, but maybe my short-term goals are I want to save or make an extra $1,000 a month. If you do the math, that isn't going to get you to that $1 million in that time. All right. So make sure your goals line up. If they don't, reevaluate and then try again. All right. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for attending. Feel free to leave some comments, some posts down there. I'd really like to know what you guys think of this. We'll have a new subject next week, and we'll be evaluating those goals. What would be really awesome is if you guys are willing to post what goals you have set for yourself down in the comments below, and then we can all hold each other accountable to those goals. All right. If you guys are willing to do that, I'm willing to join you. So let's do this thing, man. I'm really excited about what this channel could become. It's definitely not just for you guys. I don't have all the answers. I'm learning a lot of things along with this, and I'm excited to share those things and have you guys share too. So if you find some good content or some things that really help shape you into a better leader, share those things. All right. Best practices are going to be key in this as far as getting the best results. I think we all have the goal in mind of being better leaders for our people, being better leaders for our community, being better husbands, better fathers, better sisters, better wives, whatever the case may be. So let's do it together. All right. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot.